In the heart of a quiet, unremarkable town, cradled by dense woods and whispering winds, an ancient rhyme echoed among the children like a foreboding melody. In the shade of the whispering trees, beware the one who brings you to your knees. She walks with shadows, a harbinger true. Through the mist she will come and claim what is due. Every evening at dusk, just as the sky started to blush with the last rays of sun, the children would gather at the old oak tree, their eyes flickering with a mix of excitement and fear as they sang the lamenting tune that had haunted their town for generations. No one really knew who started the rhyme, but all understood the warnings tangled within it. A shadowy figure resided in the woods, claiming the lost souls of the unwary. Among them was 16-year-old Clara, a fiercely protective sister with a fascination for the mysterious. Her younger brother, Jake, a curious 9-year-old with bright eyes, often tagged along, spurred on by tales that sent shivers down their spines. One fateful evening, as mere twilight hung in the air, Jake, carefree and brave, joined the chant, his small voice mingling with the others. In the days that followed, Jake's laughter faded from their home. He vanished without a trace, leaving Clara devastated and desperate. Only the deepening shadows of the woods seemed to mock her sorrow. She revisited the oak tree time and again, hoping against hope that her brother would reappear. A smile on his face, dismissing the legends as mere stories, but each time she returned, all she found was silence, and the rhyme clung to her heart like a malevolent secret. Determined to find Jake, Clara began her own investigation into the old rhyme and the woods that haunted her. One afternoon, armed with only her courage, she ventured into the thick of the forest. There, amongst the gnarled roots and echoing silence, she stumbled upon a sight that chilled her to the bone. A mangled rabbit lay sprawled on the ground, its body marred by strange symbols carved into its fur. Clara knelt closer, examining the grotesque handiwork. Each symbol pulsed with dark energy, a language she did not understand yet, instinctively recognized as a warning. Panic surged within her. The woods were alive with ancient magic, a sinister force that feasted on fear. As she turned to flee, she caught a glimpse of a specter slipping through the trees, an ethereal woman with hollow eyes, casting shadows and weaving through the embrace of the woodlands. Her heart racing, Clara sought answers. After days of searching through dusty books in the town library, she uncovered the truth. The shadow they sang about belonged to a witch, long ago accused of dark transgressions, terribly misunderstood. She had been murdered by the townsfolk, her spirit bound to the woods, condemned to seek revenge on the very community that had forsaken her. Clara's sense of urgency deepened. She was no longer just finding her brother, but uncovering the truth about the town's dark past. But the woods were merciless. That night, her friend Alex, who had joined her in the search, wasn't just possessed. He fell victim to the same dark curse. With no control over his own actions, he attacked Clara, whispering the witch's haunting rhyme until Clara struck him out of despair. Alex lay still, the spirit having turned him against her. Tears streamed down her face. It felt like a final farewell as the pain of loss grew heavier, a crushing weight of hopelessness. But hope sparked anew when Clara came across an old frayed diary. While rummaging through the attic of her grandmother's home, it had belonged to the witch herself, filled with sketches of the woods and rituals for appeasement. One entry spoke of a ritual to unshackle the spirit, a means to secure her release if only she could overcome her spirit's fury. As the next full moon heralded the eve of her confrontation, Clara gathered everything she needed: a crystal, a strand of her hair, and a sprinkling of salt from the sea. Heart hammering, she returned to the woods, trembling yet resilient. As she stood among the towering trees, shadows danced around her, and the wind whispered warnings. Taking a deep breath, she began the incantation, her voice steady yet shaky, resonating against the night air. In the depths of the woods, the spectre materialized in a flurry of fog and rage, her voice a chilling melody that echoed Clara's own pain. "Why have you come to stir my sorrow?" The ghostly figure howled, her voice shattering the stillness, demanding Clara's intent. "I seek my brother, and I wish to set you free. You deserve peace," Clara shouted, her voice reverberating with conviction. But the witch would not be so easily appeased. Shadows swirled fiercely, clawing at Clara as the specter unleashed her wrath. In a moment of desperation, Clara placed the offerings on the cold earth, tears burning her cheeks. As she recited the final words of the ritual, is a deafening roar. The forest seemed to erupt with energy. As the witch wavered, the anger dissipating and replaced with a sorrowful wail. A beam of light illuminated the clearing, and for a fleeting moment, Clara could see Jake's ghostly figure, standing behind the witch, holding her hand with a hopeful smile. The witch's features softened, her form now shimmering and radiant, and as Clara extended her hand towards her brother, the air shimmered with a sense of release. The witch finally turned back to Clara, whispering a final, soft farewell before dissipating into the ether. Leaving only a gentle breeze behind, Clara collapsed to the ground, breathless yet profoundly grateful as Jake reappeared, his small frame alive and unscathed. They embraced the overwhelming warmth of love, washing over the chilling air. Yet as they turned to leave the woods, that comforting embrace of safety morphed into unease. Shadows crawled and rested at the edges of their sight. The woods, still teeming with secrets and whispers left behind, met. Clara knew the spirit was gone, but the woods themselves would always harbor memories of fear, kindling a lingering dread deep within her heart. Although they had defeated the darkness, the haunting realization remained that some shadows never truly fade away. As they walked back toward the town, Clara's hand in Jake's, her heart thudded with a heavy truth. The witch's presence still lingered in the air, watching them from the depths of the woods. A reminder that legends are often born from pain and memories are never truly forgotten.